The late afternoon sun beat down over the quiet outskirts of Holbrook, Arizona, painting everything in a warm orange haze. It was the kind of small town where time moved slower, where the wind carried dust across empty roads, and where everyone knew everyone, or at least pretended to. But on this particular day, something unusual broke the silence. An 8-year-old boy named Liam sprinted down Route 66, his sneakers slapping against the cracked pavement. His breaths came out sharp and uneven, but he didn't stop. He couldn't. His small hands trembled as he wiped tears from his dusty face. The closer he got to the roadside diner, the louder the rumble of motorcycles became, deep, thunder-like engines that vibrated in the air. Parked outside the diner was a line of Harley-Davidsons, gleaming with custom chrome. The jackets, the patches, the intimidating look, it was unmistakable. The Hells Angels, a sight that made most adults walk the other way. Yet Liam ran straight toward them. The bikers were in the middle of laughing about an old story when they noticed the boy skid to a stop in front of them, gasping for breath. Their laughter faded instantly. One of the bikers, a broad-shouldered man with gray in his beard, knelt down slightly. "Hey, kid," he said with a rough but steady voice. "You lost." Liam shook his head, his chin quivering. Please help me." The tremor in his voice made even the toughest biker straighten up. "Please save my grandma." The group exchanged confused looks. It wasn't every day that a child approached them, especially with a plea like that. "What happened to your grandma, son?" the bearded biker asked. Liam swallowed hard, then spoke quickly, his words spilling out in panic. "Her neighbor, Mr. Crowder. He's angry again. He broke into her trailer last night. He keeps yelling, and today he's trying to get in again. Grandma can't move fast. She's sick. I tried calling the sheriff, but no one came. Please, I don't know what to do." The bikers grew still. They weren't saints. Not by reputation, at least, but they had their own code. And hurting the vulnerable, that was something they didn't tolerate. Another biker, tall with tattoos down his arms, stood up. "Where's your grandma's place?" Liam pointed toward the long stretch of road. "In the trailer park by the old railroad crossing." The bearded man nodded once. A silent agreement passed among the bikers. Without a single question more, they began moving toward their bikes. Liam stared at them in disbelief. "You'll come." The bearded man placed a large, gloved hand gently on the boy's shoulder. "Lead the way." Within seconds, the engines roared to life. The powerful sound echoed across the desert, sending birds scattering into the sky. Liam hopped onto the back of the bearded biker's motorcycle, gripping tightly as they took off down the highway, dust rising behind them. For the first time that day, Liam felt a spark of hope. And behind him, a group of hardened bikers rode with one purpose: protect a grandmother they had never met. The small convoy of roaring Harleys raced down the empty Arizona highway, their engines echoing through the desert like rolling thunder. Liam held tightly to the bearded biker, his heart pounding, not from fear of the ride, but from fear of what they might find. The closer they got to the trailer park, the more unsettled he became. His grandmother's home sat on the far edge of town, where forgotten trailers sagged under years of heat and storms. When they turned into the gravel entrance, dust clouded around them. The park looked silent at first, too silent. Liam pointed frantically. "There. That one." The bikers immediately noticed movement. A tall, wiry man, Mr. Crowder, was banging hard on the thin metal door of Liam's grandmother's trailer. His voice was loud and venomous, echoing across the empty lot. "You open this door, old woman. I know you're in there." Inside, Liam's grandmother, Ruth, trembling and weak from her heart condition, pressed her back against the door. Her eyes were wide with fear, and her breaths came fast. She had been alone since morning, praying someone, anyone, would come. The bearded biker, known to his brothers as Bear, revved his engine once, loudly. Mr. Crowder whipped around in surprise just as the bikes lined up like a steel wall behind Liam. The man's face twisted with confusion. "What the hell is this?" Bear stepped off his bike, towering over him. His boots hit the gravel with heavy thuds as he approached. The rest of the Hells Angels spread out behind him, a silent formation that radiated authority. "You must be Crowder," Bear said calmly, though his voice carried a dangerous edge. "This ain't your business," Crowder spat, but his voice cracked slightly. "Hurting seniors," Bear replied, Taking a step closer, makes it our business. Crowder's eyes darted nervously. He took one step back. Then another. But the bikers didn't need to lay a hand on him. Their sheer presence, the patches, the steady, unflinching stares, was enough. One of the bikers, a woman named Raven, moved toward the trailer door and knocked softly. "Ma'am, you're safe. We're here with Liam." The door opened slowly, and Ruth appeared, pale but relieved. Her eyes filled with tears when she saw her grandson standing there with the bikers. "Liam, sweetheart." He ran to her, hugging her tightly. "I brought help, Grandma." Bear turned to Crowder, who was now frozen in place. "You're done here," he growled. "You ever come near them again, and the sheriff won't be the only one dealing with you." To make things official, and unavoidable, Bear pulled out his phone and called the local sheriff's office himself. "Domestic threat. Trailer Park 12. Repeat. Send a unit." When deputies arrived minutes later, Crowder tried to bark excuses, but the bikers stood as witnesses. Handcuffs clicked shut. With the danger finally gone, the Angels helped repair the broken door, checked the trailer for damage, and made sure Ruth had food, meds, and working locks. Before leaving, Bear knelt beside Liam. "You did good, kid. Real good." Liam smiled for the first time that day. The Hells Angels rode off not as outlaws, but as unlikely heroes who had answered a little boy's plea.